Welcome to the Main Street Sports Podcast. Somehow it is week 13 and not that great of a schedule. It is the notorious SEC play nobody's week, but there's a few games we can jump into. We are looking at chaos ahead with this whole poll, with the college football poll.
Yeah, man.
Because we're gonna have a lot of 10-2 teams.
It's gonna be bad, but that goes down. It just goes down to the idea of Texas not getting in at 9-3.
Yeah,
There's gonna be so many 10-2s. Like it's gonna be, who do you put in?
yeah, and now there's the whole if 3 loss conference loser conversation. And I brought up Alabama the other night, but I didn't even think about Michigan beating Ohio State, going to the Big Ten championship, and then losing to Indiana would be a 10-3.
Yeah, so that's gonna be an interesting one for sure. But like Michigan, so Cover 3 was talking about this. Like Michigan, they think still needs help.
Yeah,
If they beat Ohio State, which I don't necessarily agree with that.
I don't agree with that either.
But I think that's also on the premise that it's like with that loss to Oklahoma, as long as Oklahoma's in the fray, like
Yeah,
which
like that makes sense.
Right, and I'm not sure exactly how I feel about that. I mean, now Oklahoma, they have 2 like totally losable games.
Oh yeah.
With Missouri and LSU. And I don't know which one they'll drop, but we talked about that before with Pribula being back.
Yeah.
Like that's a whole different ball game, in my opinion. I was talking to Colin about that at lunch yesterday.
Yeah, and that's one of our games. We'll talk more about it when we get to it. Not a whole lot that can go into playoff bubble breakers this weekend. There's a couple games like that Missouri-Oklahoma game, but next week's going to be absolutely insane with all the
rivals. Well, Oregon and USC, that one, that technically could be a bubble breaker.
Yeah, and Georgia Tech Pitt's another one too.
Yeah.
But that's about it for this weekend. So we'll jump right into the games. First one we had is Louisville at home, 2.5-point favorite against SMU. And it just goes to, it's the ACC any given weekend, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of high on SMU right now, currently.
Yeah.
Louisville has this weird deal where they, their losses that they have are only by 3 points to Virginia, 3 points to Cal, and 1 point to Clemson.
Yeah.
So a combined score of 7 points in losses for their 3 losses.
Is this 2021 Nebraska?
Yeah, that's kind of one of the craziest things,
Yep.
I was kind of running through the ACC a little bit today, and I wasn't really paying attention to Louisville until I started looking at their scores. I wasn't intentionally looking at them.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And then I just happened to discover that wow, when they lose, they are in it. They are not gonna they don't get blown out. At least
They're
not
Iowa.
yet. Right, and it's kind of crazy because, Clemson's had a bad year and Cal doesn't look like a good loss. Obviously, Virginia's had a great season. So, when it comes to the objective records, that looks like a good loss.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But SMU's kind of similar.
Louisville, though, they're tricky because they have the win over Miami, the win over JMU, and I don't think I think those are their 2 biggest wins off the top of my head.
Yeah, and that's not very good either. I mean,
yeah.
So the fact that you had to say
looking at Miami,
the fact that you had to say JMU and ugh. But here's SMU though, 3-point loss to Baylor. They kind of got Yeah, they lost by 11 to TCU, and then they lost the 1 point loss to Wake Forest. So like they're in a lot of games. When they win by more than two possessions.
Yeah. So
But
it's gonna be it'll be a good matchup of quarterback play with Miller
mhm.
Moss and Kendall Jennings.
Did you say
Uh,
Kendall Jenner?
yes, I don't know where that came from. Um, yeah,
Kevin Jennings?
yeah, I don't know how I got Kendall Jenner out of.
Oh boy.
I mean, they would have if they had Kendall Jenner back there, they would at least have something to lose Louisville's focus.
Yeah, I guess.
Talk about a
I guess.
distraction.
Yeah. And
So
starting at quarterback, Kendall
Kendall
Jenner.
Jenner, no, but Kevin Jennings, Miller Moss. I like this quarterback matchup because I
Yeah.
think these are two guys that they are good quarterbacks, but they just don't get the attention of some of the top guys like Gunnar Stockton and well, Carson Beck's not up there anymore, but Julian Sayin, Mark Mendoza, like these are still two very efficient quarterbacks.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Um I just like the mobility. The mobility of Kevin Jennings is such a game changer, like
Yeah,
the escapability and all that kind of stuff. Like I
rolling the pocket, man. It's the best way to beat a good pass rush.
Yeah, so like aside from the TCU loss that they had, like they were in control of the Baylor game. If you go back
Yeah,
multiple weeks and how that game unfolded with Baylor coming back to win that,
yeah,
like that's kind of an egregious one. And then the Wake Forest thing, you're kind of like at the time we were all like, "Oh, that is a horrible loss,"
yeah,
and now they're sitting there at 7-3. So
yeah.
like actually having a pretty good year. So I don't know.
Then Wake Forest
I
beats Virginia.
right.
So
So it's kind of the ACC wheel of destiny, man. So like,
I will say you have to put an asterisk next to that Virginia game
why?
with Chandler Morris getting hurt,
Oh,
Danny
yeah, sure.
Kaelin playing 2.5 quarters of that, and it was a
Yeah,
1 point loss.
right. Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah,
So SMU it was okay. So it's at home in Dallas. So I don't know. Have they lost in at home yet? I don't think they lost at home.
I don't think so either.
They lost it. Well, that egregious game with Baylor was.
Okay,
Otherwise, it's been on the road. So give me SMU in this game.
I'm gonna go with SMU as well because they're still an outside shot. They can get to the ACC championship,
Yes,
so
that's
I think they have more to play for.
exactly.
The next game we don't have to go too long on. The only reason why I threw it on there is Northwestern's a 3.5 point favorite against Minnesota. Northwestern needs this game to get bowl eligible.
Northwestern is the favorite.
Yep. Minnesota Minnesota is
I
6 and
must have missed
0
that.
at home, 0 and 4 on the road.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw
So
that.
I think that's a
So,
lot of why.
well, and actually, I kind of go back to what Dan Lanning said about Northwestern's artificial noise
Yeah.
being a problem on the
Yeah.
speakers behind them.
Is this game
So,
at Northwestern or is this at Wrigley?
no, they just got done playing at Wrigley.
But they play Illinois at Wrigley next week. That's why I didn't know if they're doing these final three games at Wrigley or if it's just those
Oh,
two.
well, let's check it out here real quick. I got it right here. So they are playing at Wrigley.
Yeah.
They're at Illinois next week.
Oh, it's at Illinois. Okay. So this one is at.
Yeah. So this is at Wrigley. Okay. Well, that makes a little bit of a difference. But they played
Yeah.
really well against Michigan, man. So, like,
Michigan had 5 turnovers and 2 missed field goals.
I don't care.
But
The
that
scores don't
Northwestern
lie.
defense, though, even then, that Northwestern defense is tough.
Yeah. I think they play pretty. I think that team is a lot tougher than you think. And, like, early on in the year when they lost to Tulane,
Yeah.
like, that was
Well,
just a really bad showing by Preston Stone. And then otherwise, you rattle off the 4 wins. You know, one
yeah.
one of them being at Penn State.
Yeah.
They had a close game at
And that was
Nebraska.
with James Franklin still at Penn State.
Right.
And Drew Aller was still healthy.
Well, yeah, yes, he was until the end of that game.
Yep.
So I don't know. The only time they've been blown out is by USC and Oregon, and
Yeah.
that's well, and Tulane, I guess. But like, if you talk about multiple possession games,
Yeah.
so two top teams in the Big Ten,
Because that
plus
was the
plus a G
Nebraska
five
game.
front
That was
runner.
what, 7-6 at the half?
Yeah,
And
I
then
know,
28-21 final.
Yeah, they scored a couple late to tie
Yeah.
it or whatever, or
Yeah.
later in the game, and then so
But like, there's no quit in that team. And for that reason, I am taking Northwestern.
yeah, I feel like I want. Yeah, I know you've said this before.
That
Like you,
hook
you
is
want
going to
them.
be tricky.
The what?
The hook.
Oh yeah. Well, man, this is it's so tough. It is so tough. Like this could literally be like a 10-9 game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Um,
whoever gets in the end zone first wins.
all
Because
right.
otherwise, it's going to be a lot of field goals, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm going to
see
go
that.
Minnesota though.
Okay.
So
Um, Oklahoma is a 7-point favorite hosting Missouri, and it sounds like Prabula is going to get the start. It's not confirmed yet. I'm sure there's some gamesmanship going on there,
yeah,
but he did return to practice, and so that is. I feel like it doesn't really matter. It's going to be 40 carries for Ahmed Hardy.
right into the strength of the Oklahoma defense.
Yep.
Because they were talking about that one of the guys, Klatt or whoever. Like that's a terrible matchup for Missouri if they
Yeah, it
have
was
to rely
Klatt.
on the
Yeah.
because even with Prabula back, he's like how much did we talk about how we weren't even very weren't excited about him because he doesn't go through his progressions very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, now he's been out a couple weeks, so you're going to be out of that experience. You've been a little
A little
rusty,
rusty.
probably. So, I don't think this is the game that Oklahoma slips up, but
I have
and maybe they won't. Maybe they won't slip up. But
So I have two reasons why I'm going with Oklahoma to cover the 7, but I have two reasons to be weary. 11 a.m. SEC game, and is there a hangover from the Alabama game?
good.
So I'm still taking Oklahoma, but those are two things that do worry me because we've seen these 11 a.m. SEC games get wacky.
Why does it worry you?
I think Missouri could get them.
No, but why does it make you worried? Like, is it because you're a fan of Oklahoma?
No, just that because I'm picking Oklahoma.
I gotcha. No, I'm just kidding. So
But I did have
yeah,
Oklahoma 10-2 in my preseason most underrated teams article. So
yeah, you nailed that one, or it looks like you nailed it.
yeah,
That's
that's
crazy. I would have never guessed that with that schedule. I'm looking at it right here,
yeah.
but
Ian nailed
man,
Brian
kudos to
Kelly getting
them.
fired.
Yeah, you just missed the win.
Wrong
Not
game. Yeah.
yeah, not if, just win. So yeah, I will take Oklahoma. How is Missouri still rated? I
They
just
got
don't even.
back in the rankings last week because they had fallen out.
But they didn't even play.
I know because they're SEC.
Oh, they did play. They played Mississippi State.
Oh
And
yeah, because that's
they
the
ripped them.
Ahmed Hardy had 42 carries for 300 and something yards.
Yeah, they ripped them.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just that's tough. I'm gonna go Oklahoma, but I'm secretly hoping Missouri wins.
I am hoping Missouri wins because I want chaos.
Yeah.
Um, Big game. Oregon 10-point favorite against USC. No rain anymore. The rain is out of the forecast.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Um,
There's so it doesn't sound like Decorian Moore is going to play. Kenyon Sadiq is playing, and there's a chance Stewart is coming back for this game.
yeah, Evan Stewart. They knew he was going to come back at some point. They just don't know when. So,
Yeah.
like, if it was this week or
And it's within
next.
the 4 games, so he can still get his red shirt
Right.
or medical red shirt.
Right. So, and that's huge because
Yes.
Gary Bryant might not be back yet either.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that would be a massive get, and no film on him other than
Yeah.
last year. And if you don't know, you don't prepare
Yeah.
for someone that's been out the whole year.
Yeah. The
So,
it's just okay. Go ahead.
so I was gonna say, sorry, I was taking a drink there.
No, you're good.
Um, I like USC is not good in Autzen either.
No.
Like,
This to me also is a playoff elimination game. For
absolutely. I mean, you kind of want to see you want to see USC win this if you want there to be a shot of the Big Ten getting 4,
yes.
but that has to have some help, and
Yes.
so you like. I think that the playoff is better with Oregon in it over USC, and I think Oregon is better than USC. Like so, but I don't know if it's 10 points.
Yeah.
Like because man, two very similar games from USC versus Iowa and Oregon versus Iowa,
Yes.
and
Now,
both of them were in the rain.
yes. Now,
So
one thing that makes me lean towards Oregon covering is Nebraska had the number 2 pass defense, right?
hmm
And they held Mayava to his worst game of the season with a 33% passing completion, like
yeah,
barely over 100 yards, and picked off twice. Like they had all those numbers. Now they're going against the number 1 pass defense in the country with a way better pass rush.
yeah, yeah. I think the Oregon defense is like Big Ten good.
Yeah.
So like I just don't know if it's gonna be 10.
Yeah.
Like
I
I could see 8. I don't see 2 possessions. I don't see 2 possessions
I
here.
actually I see this going more like 17 for Oregon. Because if there's one thing Dan Lanning can do, it's motivate. And he's been hearing it all week about how Oregon hasn't beat anybody, how, like, because no one respects Iowa outside of the Big Ten.
Right.
And how Oregon doesn't deserve to be there because of their schedule. They lost Indiana. Like, Dan Lanning's hearing all that. And Dan Lanning is a master motivator. Like, if he was on NCAA 26, his motivator rating would be maxed out.
Isn't he?
Like, um, we just got a Easy Living Sports notification.
Oh, really?
The I think Oregon blows them out, man. In Autzen,
They didn't blow out Wisconsin in Autzen.
in a rain game.
Oh, good grief.
I just feel like this is the game Lanning's had circled.
So are we say are like is this what we're saying is that Oregon can't blow anybody out in the rain?
No, because it changes their style.
Maybe Dante Moore's just hot garbage in the freaking rain.
Could be. Maybe they should go to Austin Novosad.
Jeez.
I love Novosad, dude.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go USC just because I feel like
That 10's high.
yeah, 10's high. Like Oregon's gonna win. Oregon's going to win. USC's gonna cover. Like I see this being one possession.
Yeah, and I think give me Oregon. I'll say 18, 38, 20.
Wow, dude.
Like,
That is like Well, that's like giving Notre Dame no credit
Yeah,
in comparison to Oregon.
yeah,
So like yeah, I'll throw a score out there just because that's one of the big this is one of the biggest games of the week and we don't have a whole ton to talk
yeah.
about. So like I would say that Oregon probably wins this game 28 28 to 20. I could see it being right at 8.
Yeah. All
And
right.
USC driving at the end of the game to try to get it to force into overtime, like but
Yeah.
they can't win it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, we are already into the night games.
Booyah.
Penn State 8-point favorite against Nebraska. Wide out, but they sent their students home today. So, what kind of atmosphere are we going to see? By the way, $5 to get in the gate if you want
I
to go.
was just gonna say that, like they were talking about it on DB and those guys talking about it
Yeah.
being like $8 to get in the game, and it's like you might see a lot of red.
For you can get 50-yard line right behind the Nebraska bench right now. 4 tickets together for $52 a piece.
Holy crap,
Yeah,
dude!
they were talking
You
about
want to
it
go
on
to?
the
You
Husker
want to go?
Online podcast today.
Are we flying out right tonight?
I, so my buddies that went to the game, you know who I'm talking about. They got there today, and when they looked at the hotels at the beginning of the year, it was going to be $1,025 a night.
Holy smokes!
They got their hotels. They waited till closer to the game. They're in the team hotel for $250 a night.
Wow, dude!
That's how bad
And
it's
split
gone.
between how many of them?
What's that? It's just them. They're sharing a room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, how many of them are there?
What do you mean?
Like, how many people?
Just the two.
Okay, so yeah, okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Oh, I know who you're talking about
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Jesus, or geez, Louise.
Yeah.
So
They've already they've already sent
at
a
first,
video.
I was like, "You're like, I know, you know who I'm talking about," and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I don't really know, but I'm gonna say yes, I do. And it took me a
Yeah.
little bit, like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, now I
Yeah.
know.
They've already
Okay,
sent videos. They're there. They
yeah,
walked around the stadium.
mm-hmm,
So they're excited.
yeah. Gosh, that
But
took a while because
yeah.
I was, jeez.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just goes over my head, man.
Like they were trying to find to see if Penn State had a home duel tonight because they were going to try and go to that.
Oh, that'd be sick.
They
Would
don't.
have been.
They duel.
What about
Or they're
volleyball? Like
Yeah, I didn't ask about that.
if they had a volleyball game going on in Penn State.
Yeah. But anyway, back to the game. Penn State -8 against Nebraska. Start number 2 for TJ Lateef off a bye week. I don't know how 8 is the number. It opened as 10.
Yeah, everybody's been very critical of Vegas.
I agree with Penn State being the favorite, but not by 8. I thought it
Not
was
if
going to
the
be like,
freaking atmosphere is basically going to be a home game for the Huskers
yeah,
with how cheap tickets are. Like, for good
like it's
grief.
going to be a heavy dose of Allen and and
Singleton.
Singleton. And I mean, can you stop the run if you're Nebraska on defense, and if on offense, just keep the ball moving.
Okay,
Doesn't have to be big plays, but just keep methodical drives.
so I'm gonna mention this because I thought it's been 2 weeks since we've seen Nebraska play, and I thought that, as we stated, I thought that the effort by the entire team was different with the absence of Dr.
Yeah.
And so, like, I think that these guys are like, I think there's some juice there, and I think that UCLA had an underrated rushing attack. Now,
Especially with QB run.
well, but I was going to preface this because I'm not including QB scramble
Okay.
because that's hard to,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, that's a different dynamic. That's street ball,
Yeah.
essentially. Like, that's not planned running game.
Right.
So I guess my point is that if UCLA's planned running game is okay, it's not awesome, but I thought Nebraska defended it really well.
Yeah.
It was the unplanned improv run game that was the problem, which it usually is for everybody.
Yep.
So I think Nebraska's run D is actually getting a lot better.
And they get Dason McCullough and Dawson Merritt back at
And
linebackers.
and McCullough for sure is like a huge
Yeah, that's
addition.
massive.
So yeah, the thing is not it's not a defensive thing for me. Like I'm not worried about getting our doors blown off us defensively. I'm worried
Yeah.
about our offense being able to move the ball well enough against that defense because that defense by Penn State is still pretty good. So
Yeah,
like
it's going to be,
Latif's going to have to play really well,
yes.
and EJ and but if you deliver the ball on time and some of the stuff that they did last 2 weeks ago against UCLA, and I know that there's people out there that think UCLA's defense is dog water and all that stuff, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's still like defenses don't dictate what line the ball is taking from the quarterback's hand to the receiver,
Right.
so like there's a little bit of that.
Yep. I think Nebraska covers and wins. I'm not confident in that, but
Knocking Penn State out of a bowl game.
yep. I just
Big deal.
yeah, and
And the year before we really have to worry about him because Kalen DeBoer is going to Penn State.
that's what they want to tell you. So it's
We're
not
gonna be
happening.
seeing we're gonna be
Not
seeing
happening.
Cody trading that maroon and white for freaking
No,
for navy and white, and he won't even have that Stetson hat on anymore.
DeBoer ain't going nowhere.
A big old Nittany lion, and
Just give me
I
like
thought
the big, like Nebraska has the corn cob head. Give me the
yeah,
big foam Nittany lion head.
yeah, I actually like I have your neighbors on speed dial. They told me that you're already painting your house navy.
Yeah, yeah, that is true. So it will be.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah, there's.
Half
I just don't
half
know what to
navy,
expect.
half gold and purple. Call them the
Yeah,
Nittany Huskies.
that'd be cool. Cats and dogs, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I'm going Nebraska. I think it'll be a low scoring game. So like,
17-16 Nebraska.
God, wouldn't that be something?
Yep. Oh, the heartbeat of Husker
Yeah.
Nation.
So um, Georgia Tech 2.5 point favorite at home against Pitt. And now we're back to games that matter for Pitt.
Yeah. I'm
Heinzel's
go.
going to have to play a lot better than he did last week.
Well, yeah, but the Georgia Tech defense is hot garbage.
They're so bad, dude.
So
So
bad. It's like you want somebody that is like you see Georgia Tech in the ACC and you're like, "Oh gosh, I hope they're the playoff representative because like at least they have a respectable schedule type thing or whatever, like record." It wouldn't have been the whole freaking nightmare scenario where Duke gets in at freaking seven
yeah,
and five or whatever, or seven. Well, it
yeah.
would have
This is
would
an
have been 8 and
ACC
5.
elimination game, so there's a
Yeah,
lot on the line here.
yeah. Pitt's still in this. Georgia Tech's
Yeah,
in this. Pitt can freaking score. Like they didn't score last week because Notre Dame's defense is. I mean, that's just who they are.
yeah,
But like Georgia Tech's defense is not Notre Dame's defense. So
correct.
I could see you want chaos. You say you talk chaos. Pitt's gonna win this game, and then the next week Georgia Tech's gonna freaking beat Georgia. Watch,
And Pitt beats
and then
Miami.
and then we're all gonna just be like, what in the,
Yep.
So
And I'm going Georgia Tech. They're going to give up a lot of points, but Haynes King's going to senior day for him. He's going to score a lot of points.
oh he's scoring. Don't get me
Oh
wrong.
yeah,
This game could be like the old SEC, like not the old SEC, like the little
yeah,
4 or 5 year window where everything was 48-45,
yeah,
no defense, like a Big 12 game.
yeah.
That's what's gonna happen.
I agree.
So
I'm
I'm gonna go
I'm
Pitt
just
though. I'm going
yeah.
Pitt.
I just really We've rode Haynes King all year. I can't give up on him now.
I'm going back straight back to the beginning of the year when I said watch out for Pitt as a dark
Yeah.
horse team in the ACC, and then I also said that I loved Haynes King and talked about Georgia Tech, and like I think it's kind of ironic that this game is coming down to being like determinant on who's going to be in the
Yeah.
ACC title game.
It's crazy. Um, we got 2 games left here. Tennessee, 4-point favorite, going to Florida. And have you heard the stat that has been floated around all week?
No.
Tennessee and Florida play every single year, right?
Okay.
Tennessee has not won at Florida since we were 12 years old.
What?
I guess you're a couple years old. Since 2003.
Well, I would have been well, I would have been 11.
Yeah. So,
Holy crap, dude.
yeah.
That's a
That's
good
22
find.
years. Oh, it's been that I can't give myself. That's been on every podcast I've listened to. Like
No,
it's
I'm
well
saying
known.
like I'm glad that somebody found that, like
Yeah.
just put it out there because that's a big
And
one.
especially because it's one of those where it's the 2 teams play every year. It's not like Texas A&M Georgia where they've only played one time since A&M joined the conference in 2012.
Right, yeah. So, Florida was obviously the Georgia game was in Florida, but it's obviously neutral site
Yeah,
type thing. It's in Jacksonville.
yeah,
But they have not been at home since October 18th,
right,
and that was the last win.
yeah. And they looked much better against Ole Miss than they did Kentucky.
Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah. So, yeah, and that's so weird.
So,
I could see Florida winning this game,
so can
but
I. So
I don't see Tennessee being much of a player anymore in this whole like
that's what I wanted to bring up. You know your chaos you just brought up with the Georgia Tech, Georgia.
yeah.
I could see Florida winning this game and then Tennessee beating Vandy next week.
Oh, I've had Tennessee beating Vandy for weeks in my projection of the
Yeah,
SEC. So, I totally agree with you on that.
I am going Florida here.
Me too.
So I'll just leave it at that. I have no good backup for that. I'm just taking Florida.
Yeah. Okay, me too.
Um, our final game is BYU on the road as a 2.5-point favorite against Cincinnati. And if you go based off of last week, BYU should blow them out, but you have to go on a whole season.
And that was okay. BYU only beat Arizona in OT
Yep.
in 2 overtimes actually. That was we watched that game. I remember this was
Mm-hmm.
weeks ago, and we
Yep.
were just like, of course, freaking BYU. Like this before anybody had BYU really being like any good, and like it was kind of one of those things. It was like, oh, Arizona, of course they're gonna freaking botch this, and so they
Yeah.
did. And so this is another one. Like I'll talk about BYU first, but then obviously with the Arizona beating Cincinnati, like I'm not gonna say that BYU should blow Cincinnati out, and I think Cincinnati is really good at home, except the fact that they just got beat by Arizona at home. But
Yeah.
um,
What was Sorsby's line in that game?
in Arizona,
Yeah. Do you have it pulled up?
not on this current site. I can't. Um, keep talking real quick, and I'll
Okay,
pull it up.
so I'm just curious because I feel like we don't hear about Sorsby as much as the weeks prior when he was going for over 300 a game and just kind of lighting it up. And people were like starting to talk about him as like an outside dark horse Heisman when they
Hmm.
still only had that one loss to Nebraska prior to the Utah game.
Yeah,
So I just
he
didn't know if it
was.
was something where Sorsby's kind of taken a step back, but they've also played tougher competition or
Well, he was awful against Arizona.
okay,
15 of 28 for 154 with a touchdown and 2 picks.
dang.
and
Yeah, they're going to need
average
Sorsby.
on the ground. So,
Yeah. So they're going to need Sorsby to step it up.
well, he had just such a good run, and and everybody, certain people are going to just be like, well, that's because he's playing in the Big 12. They don't play
Yeah.
defense in the Big 12. Like, so I don't know. Like, I think the Utah game really messed with Cincinnati,
Yeah.
honestly. Like,
And the thing that is interesting here is Cincinnati. I mean, they were not with that loss. They're knocked out of Big 12 contention because Utah has the tiebreaker over them,
yeah,
even if
yeah,
they
they're
beat
done.
BYU.
Yeah.
Um, so
But it's nice to have, I mean, you talk about
yeah,
chaos, like, it's a game that could possibly happen.
yeah, and BYU has everything to play for.
Yeah.
So
So
that's
Sorsby, by the way, just speaking of, because I said I think Utah messed with them. Against Utah, he was 11 of 33 for 221, a pick
yeah,
and a touchdown. I mean, his QBR was 24.4.
yeah. They definitely they showed a game plan on how to beat them.
Yeah, Utah gave the blueprint.
Yeah. So I'm taking BYU in this one. They have more to play for, and
What
Bear
was the spread
Bachmeyer
again?
2.5.
That's not much.
No, that's a field goal.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically, do I think Cincinnati's going to win outright? Is basically what it
Yeah,
comes down to.
and surely I loved the way that BYU bounced back after that Texas Tech loss.
Well, I'm still kind of like, I was shocked at how they handled TCU.
Yeah, dude. We both took TCU
Shocked.
last week.
But I know that, yeah, I know. That those night games in Provo are freaking weird.
Well,
Like,
it's
it's weird.
Provo, so
Yeah, I mean, Provo and weird usually are pretty
yeah.
synonymous. But like,
There's a
so
lot of
now you
soaking going on at those games.
give me Cincinnati just because it's the Big 12, and I feel like when Vegas has all those games listed as like over unders, like
Yeah,
they're freaking 7.5, 8.5 for everybody in the conference. It felt like so that means they have to know. Like, there's no way that they're gonna have that many teams be 11, 10 wins. Like, so I'm gonna go Cincinnati.
all right. So we will wrap up this show with, since there's not many good lines, I'll give you a proposition question. That's probably not the right word I'm looking for, but just go along with it. What is more likely to happen? Arkansas defeat Texas this week or Kansas State to defeat Utah?
Arkansas to beat Texas or Kansas State to beat who?
Utah.
Arkansas.
That's where I am leaning to
Yeah.
because of Arkansas's offense.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, Texas's offense isn't good enough to like that could be a really close game. What's the line on it?
I have no clue.
No.
Not without pulling it up.
Well, we should probably do that because that's probably an interesting line. I've got it's at Texas though. Texas is 8.5 point favorite on ESPN.
Okay.
So, oh boy, like
Texas coming off an emotional loss.
yeah, I mean, and like, does Texas has Sarkeesian been able to let Texas believe that they still have a chance?
Yeah. That's
Like,
I get.
do they have their play? Do their players know that's like we're effed?
Yeah.
Like, so the mindset of the players, like, if we still have everything to play for, that's going to benefit them a long way
Yeah.
in this game. If they have their tails tucked because they're feeling sorry for themselves, it could
Yeah.
be a really, really bad ending to the season for
And
Texas.
if Arkansas wins this, do we hear an announcement Sunday that Bobby Petrino is getting the interim tag removed and becoming the next head coach?
Very well could be.
Like,
I mean, vert, you know, for the second time.
yeah, right. And then Utah just They're rolling right now.
Yeah. I mean, they're minus 16 and a half.
Whew, that's a
It's
big number.
it's at Utah. We've already talked about how hard it
Yeah.
is to
Is
play
that
in
night game?
Utah. No, it's afternoon.
Okay. If it was Utah, I'd say they might cover that actually.
But
Yeah. We'll call that a good ending point. We'll be back Monday with wrap up and a preview at the college playoff. Well, do we want to do Sunday with the short week next week?
yeah.
Okay. So we'll
Yeah.
do that. And
So how about Colorado, Arizona State?
that's Julian Lewis has been getting a little hot the last couple
Well,
weeks.
and the reason I say this is because Arizona State just entered the college football playoff
Yeah, number 25.
rankings, and so it's like what in the world? They're only favored by 7.5 at Colorado,
Yeah.
and so the
Like,
college football playoff committee values Arizona State, but Vegas is like, hold on a second, this is going
yeah,
to be a tight game.
could be.
Well, yeah, it could be. So thought that was interesting.
Yeah. All righty. Well, join us Sunday and we'll be back with more college football. Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah, you guys see ya. Got the music rolling.